Go.
All right, folks, this is the last step on how to finish your stepstones. Last step. Get it?
Oh.
Live studio audience, you can laugh. Okay, thank you. So one thing is a lot of the stepstones still have a little bit of your scrap here, and so this is called a Surform. It is not called a cheese grater. If you ask me where the cheese graters are, I'll pretend I don't know what you're talking about. It's called a Surform. Everybody say it, Surform. Sure. Good. Okay, so it works like a cheese grater though, and I'm just gonna shave off this part, not this part. Do not touch this part. But I want to get this flush or flat or even with the side of the stepstone. If you start carving away or shaving away this, your stepstone is not going to fit in the grid, which means it won't be a part of the finished piece, which will be very sad and depressing when your kids go to Mission Hill someday and they say, "Where's Mom's?" or "Where's my dad's piece?" and it's not there. So this is what you want. That is perfectly even. So you want that on all sides. Once that's done, we're going to do a final booger patrol. So like this guy right here. Are you close enough to see these little boogers? Any little tiny things, and can you grab me a spray bottle please, Quincy? Any little booger that you see, let's get those off. These are all looking pretty clean. There's a few in here that you'll want to get rid of. If they're, I call them boogers because they act like boogers. Just like real boogers, they're easier to pick away when they're drier, and when you try to get rid of them when they're wet, they just tend to make a bigger mess. So once you've gotten your boogers gone, let's see, then we're going to go to finger polishing. So that's just a moist finger, and you're going to polish the surface and the negative shapes. If you can see in here on Quincy's piece, the negative shape still looks carved. So the finger polishing is going to take away that carved texture. And even on the positive, you can still see the texture of the canvas. So we're going to polish that away. What we're trying to get is a consistent skin on the positives and the negatives before we're totally done. When you're finger polishing though, avoid touching the edge of your clips. You want to keep those as sharp as possible. Don't round them out too much. Also, any little cracks right here or little stuff on the surface, if you didn't fix those earlier, you still have a chance to get a tiny little bit of moist clay and just smear it in there and fill those in. Once all of that is done, then you're ready to put your name and your graduation year on it. The way this is going to work is we're going to carve a little letter box here, a little negative shape here and here. So it's going to be your first and last name, and then class of, and your 4-digit graduation year. So 4 digits. So how long, I'm not going to say your name on camera, but I know your last name is longer than your first name. So do you think this is enough space to get your whole name in there?
Yeah.
Mr. Q? All right, so I'm going to mark this off and draw a little bit of a negative shaped box or an outline that I'm going to carve. And the key here is to get on the edge. The edge is not the top and it is not the side. It is this rounded edge. If you have carved negative shapes all the way out to your edge, like this, we can round out the edge either with the Surform or even with your carving tool. Just take that sharp edge off and let it round out so that the negative shapes fall off the side the same way that the positive shapes fall off the side. Nice and smooth. So here, now I'm going to actually carve in just like it's a negative shape in my carving. It's just a box. It's a pretty straight and easy shape to carve, but do carve carefully. I'm not going to carve this whole thing, so I don't want to take the fun away from you. But I'm going to carve this little section to show you how deep to go. You don't have to go as deep as your regular negative shapes, but deep enough to say, hey, this is a letterbox. This is where a name goes. It's like a little sign on the edge of your piece. So about 1/8 of an inch is plenty. Okay, So in this section right here, that's ready to go. When you're actually writing your name, again, first and last name, and then over here it's class of and your 4-digit year, and it's important that both of those are on 2 edges that share 1 corner. It cannot be across from each other. They have to be tangent or touching the side or sharing the same corner. So then just rough in the letters lightly with the needle tool. Make sure they all fit, and then go over and actually carve them with a dull pencil. Okay, your wooden pencil. Draw it in there, or not just draw it in there, but actually carve it into the surface with the pencil. Don't just do it with the needle, because that makes lines that are too skinny. And when you're lightly sketching, drawing the letters in, if you make a mistake, just finger polish them out. You can erase them real easily if you're light. Okay, so once they're in there, go over it with the pencil and actually carve them in. Once you've done all that, you're ready to have the holes drilled in the back, and that's something we'll do at the end of class pretty much every day as we wrap up this project. Any questions, you guys? All right, that's how to finish your stepstone. Thank you.